If you take a look at the new dynamic in the world going on right now, as far as war goes, I'm thinking over here a moment ago, and what did I say a moment ago? I was talking about Iran, right? In the video prior to this one, about how Iran may not be a military force in the same way that Russia is a military force, and North Korea is a military force, and North Korea may not be the military force in the same way that Russia is a military force, because Russia has nukes, and supposedly, good and plenty of them, and supposedly rivaled only by the United States of America, and supposedly Kim Jong-un over there in North Korea doesn't have them. Well, I've been saying for a while he's got them now, and so does Iran for that matter. I don't really know what they're doing with Iran right now. Could be the same thing they're doing with Ukraine, or the same thing that's going on with Ukraine right now, because you got North Korea on the battlefield and assisting in so many ways, like their particular version of NATO over there with Russia, and they seem to have an interest as far as being helpful and investing in Iran. So maybe they're just doing a lot of testing waters right now. A bit of a standoff. But what I was thinking about is that Iran, if they really wanted to come with it and say, well, look, man, they got our full support, then all of a sudden you'd have to push back from Iran and say, okay, Iran has allies right now that are saying they're ready to fucking they're ready to go down, you know? They're going to throw blow for blow with you if you fuck with Iran. Like the United States of America may say about a lot of people out there, you know, like they said about Ukraine. And they didn't say they were going to go blow to blow about Ukraine, but NATO said, well, we're going to assist them this way and that way, and they have, I guess, ostensibly dragged out this war for over half a decade now, or about a half a decade now. I say ostensibly because it seems like they're making too much of that war out there. You know, North Korea's out there now, as well as all of Russia and with their military men, and they still haven't gotten that damn thing licked yet, just because NATO's assisting them in supplies and dumb little shit like that. They don't really have any kind of military out there at this point. They had whatever was over there in Ukraine whenever that whole thing initiated over there in Ukraine, and a bunch of civilians and whatever's left over from that since this war's been going on for about 5 years now. And they got elite military men if they wanted to. I don't know who they have out there, but they could have the most, you know, highly trained military out there from North Korea as well as Russia. So maybe they're playing a game of cat and mouse. Maybe that's what's going on in Iran right now. Instead of just backing them up and saying, look, we've got their back, so you fuck with them, you fuck with us. But if that should happen, all of a sudden you've got to pull out of there. You've got to reconsider a lot of things. Maybe Russia, North Korea, and China. I say tentatively China because they're not as loud, but they've been having associations and nevertheless, and feel like they've been fraternizing, you know, whatever have you pronounce the word, with these alliances or these nations. So I mean, maybe they look at it like somebody who's walking around with a huge golden nugget in their possession. Maybe they're like, I'm in no big fucking hurry to cash in on the goddamn thing, perhaps, you know? Like a lot of people are like, hey, let's cash in on it right here, right now. Others may have the psychology like, whatever, you know, why am I fucking just in a big hurry about it? Do you know the bargaining or the what do you call it, negotiations they can do right now with other world powers like NATO, United States of America, UK, and so on and so forth? Those people who are on that same kind of ideology and paradigm, similar ideology and paradigms. And that seems to be what was going on in Ukraine, amongst other things perhaps, but certainly one thing in Ukraine was that the Kremlin over there, Russia over there, they didn't really like the autonomy that Ukraine had. So it shows that they are really against that kind of paradigm and ideology, which is by and large the nitty gritty and the bedrock of the United States of America and what we do over here. So what makes you think at this point right now they want to say, look, what we want to do, what we propose is that we make some negotiations about how you do things over there in UK and NATO and all the rest of you fuckers. Or we can have a long, drawn out fucking war about it. Does that kind of fucking register with you? Because I don't know why they're not doing it at this point. Because they can certainly say it and do it. And like, once again, throw China in there with them because they're similar in what they do with you, Russia and North Korea. And all of a sudden, you either have to negotiate and change some things to a new world power, or you say, fuck it, we're just go for what we know, and we can fight about that shit, and that fight may go on for a long time. Especially if you're not using nukes and all that kind of shit, because you realize they have it, you've got it, so really, why don't you knuckle the fuck up and box it out? What do you think? That's Anthony Terrell, I'm weighing in. That's what I think.